Master. We have a priority signal from the Star Destroyer then.
Right.
Hello everybody, Avenger here. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most common maneuvers in Star Wars Squadrons at high level gameplay, and that is the maneuver known as the J-hook. Now I had used the J-hook in some fashion in a game I used to play called Star Citizen, and it can work quite well in this game as well, since the drifting mechanic allows you to actually change your angle, keep your nose on target while still maintaining momentum, right? So even though we don't have what's known as 6 degrees of freedom, we can create a 6 degrees of freedom environment in a specific setting if we're able to pull this maneuver off. I'm going to walk you through an image that I drew about the J-hook, how to execute it, and then myself and Eckhart's Ladder are going to show you in real time what the J-hook looks like when executed properly. So Eckhart's will run enemy force in the X-Wing, and I will run the TIE Defender, right? So we're going to jump over to the J-hook. So you'll see there's lots of different colors here. Each of the colors is shown on the bottom here. Yellow being the nose of the vessel, green being friendlies, red being the dirty New Republic. Boost is indicated by the length of how long you're going to hold your boost for, and that's going to be shown in orange. So let's get started. So we're going to start this maneuver with both parties, the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter, in this case, moving in the same direction. Now the nose of the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing are facing in the same direction. What's happening right now is the J-hook is a defensive only technique. Okay? You cannot execute a J-hook maneuver unless the enemy is tailing you, because the angle will simply not work out unless you have the enemy tailing you, right? So for this instance, both parties are trying to escape or cross the distance. The TIE Fighter maybe is coming back from a run that it was successful on, or maybe a kill, and the X-Wing is deciding to chase and execute that TIE Fighter. So what's happening is both parties are moving. The arrow indicates the direction of the ship's momentum and movement, not the nose of the ship. Okay, yellow indicates the nose direction, or what's known as nose authority, and the green is actually the momentum or the vessel's direction of movement. Okay, so as we come into this maneuver, we go into our first boost stage. Okay, so we only boost for about a quarter of the length we're going to cross. And so let's say the distance between here and here, let's say 500 meters. Okay? So you only boosted, and that might even be shorter. Let's say it's 300 meters, right? But you only want to boost for about a small percentage of that, right? So you press the boost and let go right away and engage your drift and then start your maneuver, right? What you're going to do is you're going to bump, you're going to boost again, and you're going to change your nose direction, right? You're going to create that 90-degree angle in space, okay? Relative to where the enemy is chasing you. That's why it's important for the person that is tailing you, because it tells you where their nose direction is. Because I know he's behind me facing towards me, okay? So as we go into our first stage here, the nose of the TIE Fighter is going to offset 90 degrees. It's not going to offset too soon, because then what happens is the angle becomes too sharp and the distance from here to here is not enough. Okay? So what's going to happen is the TIE Fighter is going to point its nose 90 degrees offset from the tailing target. It's then going to boost again, engage its drift again, and it's going to spin its nose. And what this is going to do is, once you create that 90 degree, what it's going to give you is it's going to give you distance and angular momentum. Okay? So the movement of the vessel is now 90 degrees offset from the tailing target. Now, when the TIE Fighter faces towards the tailing vessel, notice how the pips are now completely lined up with the nose or the muzzle direction of the TIE Fighter. So the lead angle, or the angle in which you have to lead to shoot the enemy target, is almost nothing. Okay, so it's in line. So there, if it's traveling in offset directions like this, you're going to have to lead the target over here or over here. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to create that scenario where the tailing target doesn't have any lead angle, and you're just going to fill this guy full of holes. Okay, then we're going to erase that. Next, what's going to happen is, if the enemy is tailing you with rockets, they are going to have to choose between either their gun angle, which is here, or, because rockets are much slower, they're going to have to lead twice the distance, and they're going to have to choose either they want to hit you with rockets, or they want to hit you with guns. So you're effectively splitting their damage right down the middle in half. Now, the situation for you is not the same. If the lead angle for the tailing ship is thinner, then I don't have to correct or choose between whether I want to shoot rockets or whether I want to shoot guns. What I can do is I can drop the rockets on, from my point of view, onto the enemy a lot easier, even though they're half the speed. Okay, this allows the J-hook maneuver to apply more damage to the tailing target quicker and make it more difficult for the enemy that's tailing you to actually apply their damage. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in real time, and myself and X here are going to do a practical demonstration of how the J-hook is handled, how to execute it, what it looks like, and what the results are if you pull it off. And at the very end, we're going to show you, if you are the tailing X-wing, how to engage, notice, and get away from someone trying to pull a J-hook on you so that you can defensively fly and fight another day. Alrighty, so we're going to do the J-hook. And basically, like we were just talking about, we're going to extend the distance. So I know my target is tailing me right now. And here I have Eckert's behind me in a hostile X-wing. He's going to close the distance. I want to disengage, pull 90 degrees, set it again, and come around. Okay? He's going to keep tailing. So we'll do it again. And this time a little faster. Keep the distance, set 90 degrees, come around. Now the angle is cut again. We're going to blow past. And we get the J-hook to come again. Again, once the target's tailing, distance is at 500. Set 90 degrees, come around again. And you can sneak in behind them. One more time for posterity's sakes. Tailing target comes in behind. Get the distance. Pull the 90-degree corner. Set your shields to front. You have the oblique angle coming in. And that's the easy, simple J-hook. No questions asked. Alright, so we're going to talk a little bit about how to disengage, to notice, and how to defend against somebody who's actually pulling a J-hook maneuver on you. So X is going to show enemy force here, and we're going to skip to where I'm tailing up on him. So as you can see, right now he should be firing, you know, essentially as if he was tailing, like I've got the shot on the defender. I'm going to take him out. And what you need to understand is you need to be looking at your radar screen at the bottom here, where it shows the orientation of the enemy ship that you're tracking, right? Now what's going to happen is you're going to see my ship pull its 90-degree corner, right? I'm going to boost to get some distance, and then I'm going to start changing my deflection angle, and that's the telltale sign. So here I go, boosted right here. Notice how the nose of the ship is 90-degree offset from the tailing target, right? At this point, the player that's tailing, so Eckhart in this case, has to make a decision whether he wants to boost towards me to close the distance as quick as possible, to reduce the deflection angle, or to decide, you know what, I don't want to take this fight and I'm going to pull away, right? Now obviously in this case Eckhart's is functioning as enemy force, so he's intentionally going in for practice purposes, right? So you'll see I make the 90-degree cut. Notice how what I was talking about gun cone, this little indicator here is your gun cone, right? Now the whole object of this maneuver is to get out of the enemy's gun cone while still maintaining your own, right? Notice how I've bounced off, and now I've already been facing him this whole time. In this situation I wasn't firing in order to just you know, explain the process, but the idea is to get constant muzzle control or nose authority while maintaining guns on target. Now we're going to see that again in the next maneuver. I'll back it up here a little bit fast. Again, right? I boosted away. I've started to cut my 90. Watched it. I'm going to bounce across the screen. Right? That deflection angle is what I was talking about in the picture. Bounce across the screen. Now his nose has to try and track me this whole time. So he has to lead his angle far to the left. Or he has to lead even farther if he has rockets. Whereas the entire time, I'm on the outside shooting in. Right? And he has no deflection angle whatsoever because he's the tailing target. Right? At that point, you can just kind of blow past, get set up for the next run. And we can do this whole thing again. Where again, he's tailing. I cut the 90 degree to the left. There we go. I'm now facing towards my target. Now he has to choose to lead his angle or to choose rockets. So there you have it, folks. The J-hook from both perspectives so that you understand how the game J-hook is supposed to play out. Thank you so much for watching.